That was real good. That was money, first of all.
Let's do another.
How is everyone? I am Chris Knight. This is the Real Review 3000. Glad to have you guys all here for the Mandalorian Roundtable. Now, last week we did our prologue, whatever you want to call it. I know that's like a literary term, but we're going to call it the prologue last week, where we talked about what we expected, what we wanted to see during season 2. But today we're here to talk about season 2, episode 1. Now, I'm going to bring some people in. They are the Mandalorian Roundtable. Some people who are back from last year. Some people are new. We're going to bring people who were not on last week, if I can remember who was not on last week, I think. But, well, let's just bring in Mr. Comix Division first. Mr. Comix Division, it's good to see you. It's been almost a year, I think.
I know, man. It's been a while, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm alive. I got a pain in my neck.
So do I, actually.
It's called the election period. I mean, oh, God, I'm done with this. I'm done with everything political.
Mine is actually from sleeping weird.
Well, last night I couldn't sleep with a crap, and I had problems like that too. So why don't you tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, all that great stuff as usual. Go ahead.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, you can find me obviously on my own channel, which is Comix Division, as well as on Twitter at Comix Division. And I'm also one of the co-hosts on Friday Night Tights. If you haven't heard that show, you should go check it out. It's pretty fun.
Indeed. Things can get crazy, but that's how it's designed to be, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great, though. All right, let's bring in another person, but this person is new to the Mandalorian Roundtable. This is Jedi Master. Jedi Master, really? I think something else is really what you're using, not the Force, just so you know.
A Force. Didn't say what kind of Force.
Uh-huh. Elihu Who, how you doing? Tell everybody about yourself and where they can find you.
It's been a while. It's been about 84,000 seconds since I've seen you, Chris.
I know. It's just crazy, isn't it?
I know. Well, I'm Elihu Who, and I host a weekly science show called What's Up with the Universe every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific time. I know it's 12 noon. A lot of people at work and do other stuff, so if you can't watch my show live, make sure you click that bell so you know when to watch it later. Just as well as everybody else on this panel who has a YouTube channel. Click their bell.
The bell helps.
Yes, it helps. And I can be found on Twitter a lot. The information is down on the bottom. When I tweet, does not necessarily mean a personal opinion or an endorsement, but I will tweet JJ sometimes.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and we'll bring in Mr. Danny Graham. Danny Graham, Mr. Comic Chat.
How you doing? What's up? I'm all right, man. How you doing, Chris?
You know, I'm doing all right. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
I am Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. I have a YouTube channel, several different shows I do throughout the week. I did a show today with Chris. We critiqued the great Stevie Ray Vaughan. We do guitar soloists every Sunday. I thought I was recording this for a later date, but I'll get it right next time. And tomorrow night, please catch me at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Chaotic Conversation. We will continue our 50 greatest villains of all time. This week, we will be doing number 40 through 31. So please tune in and catch that. Also, there's several different shows throughout the week that I do. Just follow one channel, and I'll advise you about the other ones. But thanks for having me here.
Indeed. All right. And now we're going to get to some people that a lot of people know. We're going to go with Shellback TJC. Shellback, how you doing? You're muted.
Oh, hi.
Yes, I am. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you use the turtle wax today? It looks nice and shiny.
All right. So I'm doing the No Shave November thing. I'm doing it according to the rules of the of one of the places I used to work once upon a time, where you shave either on October 31st or November 1st, but then for the rest of the month you don't shave, and to see how much progression you have. And so I decided to do the whole head instead of just the
so you're gonna look like what's his name from Lord of the Rings, the dwarf at the end of this.
Gimli?
Yeah, Gimli, yeah. The one with the huge beard and the
It takes me a little bit more than a month to look like that.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna have several of these shows, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna see the progression week to week. It's gonna be like, what the hell happened?
His hair will be as long as mine. Okay.
Oh, I doubt that.
Yeah, wait about 15 years.
All right, tell everybody about yourself, Shellback.
Well, I like eating Nutty Buddies and long walks on the beach.
This is not Tinder.
Whoa.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
this isn't like a video dating service.
Anyway, so.
No. Oh, you mean like channel wise and stuff?
Yeah, that's stuff. Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, I'm I've been kind of sporadic in my YouTube career. Maybe one of these years I'll get on the ball, as we used to say where I grew up. Little south and east of where you're at. But you can find me now here on Sundays, 7 p.m. Central. But I've also been known to show up on Wes Moody's channel on occasion on Mondays for his car talk, and Tuesdays for Trekking on Tuesday. And I've also been known to pop up on Bear's channel on like Friday and Saturday nights. So,
all right. Well, speaking of Bear, let's bring Bear in. Bear, how you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. I'm kind of suffering the same pain in the neck that you're suffering there. I don't know what it is, pinched nerve or something. Slept wrong, I don't know.
Yeah.
But every now and then it flares up and it hangs out for a couple weeks and then it goes away. Weird.
Yeah. Hopefully in a couple of weeks we won't have to worry about it for a while.
Well, here it doesn't really snow. It gets rainy and wet, and that's probably why, body's going to react with the rain and all that crap. But I'm doing pretty good. There's a lot of things I liked about this episode.
All right. Well, tell everybody about yourself first, where you can be found, all that great stuff.
Well, there's 3 new songs I got out on the channel, and I got another one right now that's done that I still got to come up with a slideshow for. And we got normally late, right around 9:30-ish. Depends on when everyone gets there. I go live on the late edition or the 4 Horsemen on Friday. Depends on what kind of show it's going to be. Then the late edition on Saturday, which is right around 9:30-ish. And sometimes it can be early. Like last time, we had the rabbi on this last Saturday, and it worked out for him to pop in. And had a lot of fun. Talked about this episode and a couple other things. And that's been going on.
All right, let's bring in JJ now. JJ, how you doing?
I'm all right.
All right, tell everybody about yourself. Where you gonna be found, all that good stuff.
Well, I don't know if it's good stuff, but I'll tell you.
Well, he's a Sith. What do you expect?
Bite me. You can find me a little bit everywhere Sunday nights on HanStar's channel for Name That Tune, which is tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, with Chris Knight and HanStar. Sometimes I'm a contestant. Most of the time I'm a mod. Monday night's my channel. I do a weekly live stream called Randomness at its Finest. Random panel, random topic. Come by, check it out. Like, share, subscribe, all the funny stuff that goes with that. You can find me Tuesday nights with Chris Knight, Danny Graham, Nzo Bridges, Elihu Who, LDG Pixels, Mad Mardigan for the KHAOS list. And then sometimes you'll find me on Chris's channel on the Weekly Rumble, either as a contestant or combatant. Can't tell anymore. And sometimes he likes to play it differently. I come in as a wild card. You never know. And then last, but you can find me on Twitter at SithLord3827. Great to see you guys. Thanks for having me back on again, Chris.
Not an issue. And let's bring in one last person right now. Final Death Star. How are you doing?
Hello there. I'm doing well. Hey, guys.
Long time no talk. I'm glad to have you here. Very good. Why don't you tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found, sir?
I can be found on my channel, Final Death Star. I just realized I still have my Nerd Cookies Death Star. I was just on Nerd
like
Cookies
that.
show. So,
I love that.
I still have that. I'll just leave it up there. I can be found on my channel. I do pretty much social commentary on pop culture, entertainment, and then I also have a show where I get into more esoteric topics. It's called Enter the Nether. I'll actually be doing one tonight at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time with Flipped Out of the Phantom Collective as my co-host, and later tonight I will be on Creepy Little Books channel, who also does a lot of esoteric topics. So you can find me any of those places, and on Twitter, Final Death Star 1.
One of these days, I'd like to jump on with him overnight with one of his conversations. I love the stuff he does. I actually used to listen to it and fall asleep to it.
Oh, yeah, Creepy Little Book?
Yeah, not that he will put you to sleep. That's not the point. Because I'm very much
glowing review.
I save.
Yeah. Well, no. I always tell people that. I'm like, it's not that he puts you to sleep. It is the type of stuff I like to listen to late at night. I mean, I used to deliver papers, and overnight there's this show called Coast to Coast AM.
Oh yes, I love Coast to Coast.
Where I've been listening to it since Art Bell was the host. So I mean, I love that stuff. I really do. I'm big into it. I believe a lot of stuff and whatever. I'm crazy, so it's okay. All right, guys.
A lot of topics. A lot of good topics.
Well, no, you're crazy, so right.
Yeah. All right. So this is how we're going to do it this year, people. We're going to I'm going to pose questions to my roundtable here. They're going to tell us about it. Go a couple minutes each, talk about what they liked, what they didn't like, things that, we'll go as we kind of organically flow with it. And everybody on the roundtable can also ask questions about what they're talking about. And then we'll give a rating on what we thought about it. And we'll try to stay as close to that as possible throughout the season. So let's start with this question, guys. Give me an overall, what'd you think of the episode just in general? Comix, go ahead and tell everybody about that.
Okay, I was pretty harsh on Mandalorian season 1, and I would say my stance has softened a little bit. I actually really like this episode as compared to the episode 1 from season 1. I felt it was a lot stronger. There is some things I do have issues with, but overall, I thought the acting was pretty good. The story was decent. At times, it felt a little too much like Dancing with Sand People, but on that, it was pretty cool. I mean, we got to see the Krayt Dragon, for the first time ever on the screen, which was pretty neat. I know that they kind of changed some things up with it, but I enjoyed it. I did.
Real quick, sorry, $2 super chat by Wes Moody webcast. Thank you very much, Wes. I appreciate it. After watching STD, Mandalorian was like 11 out of 10. First off, it's going to be an 11 out of 10 because it doesn't have those initials. Just saying. It doesn't matter if you like Star Trek Discovery or not. Admitting to it is kind of like admitting you have an STD before you try to get laid. It's like, there's this thing I want to tell you about, but I don't know how to really bring it up. So, no, very good. That's very true. Okay. Anything else, Comix?
That's it for now. I'll save the criticisms for later when you ask about those.
Yes. All right, Jedi Master Elihu Who. Let's tell everybody what you thought overall of this episode.
From the recap season 1, I half liked it and half didn't like it because it was mostly focused on action and not story, and kind of reminded me of Picard and Dora the Explorer. We're going here, we're going there, we're going here, we're going there. This episode here, it basically was storyline, because some people are confused, like, okay, when exactly is the timeline this happens? It explains it after the second Death Star. He said this in the show. Yeah, spoilers, people. Reveals, spoilers. So I was like, okay, we know exactly when it was. And I always thought, okay, yeah, what's going to happen after the Death Star blows up? Yeah, power vacuum. They explained a little power vacuum. I like this. It was story, not just all action. I like that.
Okay.
I give this a 9 out of 10.
Oh, well, you're just going to give it to us right now, right off the bat.
Because I did not understand people the translation. There was no subtitles whatsoever.
Yeah, he's just going to walk up to the day and go, blammo, here you go, take it or leave it.
Wow. Okay. Danny, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you think overall?
I thought it was fantastic. I've always been a Star Wars fan, was a little disappointed in the big screen, last 3 big screens, but I think that this is Star Wars moving in the right direction. I like the story. I am a big Timothy Oliphant fan, so when I saw him, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but I didn't have any problems with it. I was entertained. I wish that they would go to 52 minutes for every episode versus cutting it shorter, but for a first episode out of the gate, I didn't have any problems with it at all. Well, I did have one problem with it, but I get to it whenever you ask that question.
All right, cool. All right, Shellback, Mr. Turtle Wax himself. Go ahead and tell everybody what did you think of this overall?
I liked it. I was having a healthy little conversation on Twitter with a couple of EU people of our community, and about more lore breaking talk and stuff. But with that being said, even though I think that they could have taken the movies, and just straight up made film adaptations of the first 3 books from the EU. It would have made a perfectly good trilogy. But anyway, other than the differences in between what's been in the books about the Tuscans in particular, I enjoyed the way that they went about the episode, So. And
all right.
I don't know. I don't know. Since Jedi Who.
You don't have to give a rating yet.
Oh, okay.
We'll get around to it.
I didn't put mine in for the hell of it.
He didn't listen to the rules.
Then I'll concede the rest of my time to the gentleman from Alabama. Okay.
Bear, I guess that's you over in the Pacific time zone.
Yeah. I think I've been to Alabama once. I think I was driving through. Nice weather, summertime. So yeah, there's a lot of things about this episode that I liked. I don't think there's really too much that I really didn't like. I like the fight scene with the Gamorreans with the vibro blades. It kind of reminded me of a Japanese arcade game that I was playing over at my buddy's because he's got an arcade simulator. Mm-hmm. And there was a very, very similar looking axe that kind of looked like a vibro axe. And it just made me think of that. And I like that. I like the fight scene. It was kind of cool. It showed all the people around the fight and all that. It spoke to me of Star Wars. It just felt like something you would see in Star Wars. All the smoke hanging around and all that stuff. I like that scene. I like the conversation between the mechanic and Mando. A lot of interesting things. I like some of the wire work that was done. That reminded me of Star Wars big time. And overall, there's not too much that I didn't really like about this because there was story being played out. Got to see it unravel. I like that.
Okay. Let's go down to JJ. JJ, go ahead and tell us what you thought overall.
Well, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. As a whole, I like the episode, but just like I guess some of us, have our own little problems with it. The story I thought was pretty great from the beginning. Kind of wish you're talking about the Gamorrean fight. Kind of wish they were a little bit bigger, more chunkier, because they look like regular fighters with pig heads. I'm like, come on, no, these guys are bigger than that. Just under sumo size. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, going back to Tatooine, man, come on. I wasn't real. I knew when the place was said we was going to go see the mechanic. She wasn't one of my favorite characters from the first season, so it was like she pops back up. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, she's back. But you know, all in all, I like the episode.
Okay. All right. Final. Go ahead and what do you think?
My thoughts kind of echo JJ's. Honestly, I'm a fan of the first season. You know, I thought it was a step in the right direction, as most people did for Lucasfilm and Star Wars. I thought that there were some continuity issues, which, you know, we could talk about a little later when we talk about problems with it. I thought visually it was really nice. I thought the pacing was I thought it dragged a little bit. 54 minutes, you know, after season 1, everyone, including myself, was saying, man, why is it only a half hour? These should be hour-long episodes. Right. Well, then after this, I thought, you know what? I could probably cut about 15 minutes out of this show and, you know, would have gotten everything we need to see. But, I mean, overall, it was a good episode. Not great. Nothing mind-blowing happened. There were some nice attention to details that I did like in this, you know. So, also had a little bit of an issue with the Tatooine, but I think, you know, the end scene, I'm pretty sure they wrote this first episode, the entire season probably with that reveal at the end of this episode in mind. I think that's why we went to Tatooine, because they wanted to start the season off with that reveal, and that had to happen on Tatooine. So I think that's why we went back there. You know, only 3 or 4 episodes since we'd been there in first season. So yeah, my overall thought though, good episode, not great. Yeah, that's.
I didn't have any problems. I didn't have any problems with the pacing or the time. In fact, I was like, you know, at the end of that, you know, time, I was like, shit, it's over. You know, I didn't have any. So I to me, it was paced just fine, and I was like, I could have stood another, you know, 5 or 10 minutes myself, actually, but. And the Gamorreans, dude, you got to remember from Return of the Jedi, you know, it looked like a couple of guys in those blow-up sumo suits, you know, and kind of, you know, wasn't a whole lot of mobility.
I don't know. I liked it. So overall, yeah, I liked it. I will echo some of the same things some of you are saying, and at the same time, I kind of defend this episode in a way that I kind of also attack it. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of like conflicted on this episode. So let's just jump right into this real quick. What were your biggest issues with this episode? Go ahead, Comix.
Well, I think this is probably going to be echoed by several people on the panel, which is the return to Tatooine. It does make the Star Wars universe feel quite a bit smaller, and it's like we've been there before. I mean, there's a vast universe, and I understand why they did it, because they're introducing, you know, Boba Fett at the end. The other thing too, I understand why they did it. I disagree with it. The Marshal was taken from one of Chuck Wendig's books. I believe it was Aftermath, where they introduced the character of the Marshal, who ends up with Boba Fett's armor. My first question is, okay, if Boba Fett's still alive, then why would he ditch his armor? That doesn't make any sense. Unless they're trying to kind of stick with the book by Chuck Wendig. I did feel that the runtime was fine. It didn't feel as cramped as the previous episodes, where everything felt rushed. I felt there's a lot more breathing room to go on with this episode. The other issue I had was Mando's relationship with the Sand People. It's like, how does he know how to communicate with the Tuscan Raiders? Why there should have been a little bit more conflict that they could have resolved first to be able to go and, work together as a group. I mean, you had the Marshal driving some of that conflict, but it would have been more interesting trying to figure out that, getting past the language barrier. And also, I don't know, there's certain things like with the with the Sand People that we've seen from previous movies where this kind of contradicts things a little bit. I'm fine with them being flushed out a little bit more. And like I said, this in a lot of ways it felt a lot like Dances with Wolves with me in regards to the Sand People being the analog for Native Americans. So
yeah,
no,
yeah, totally.
But the episode definitely had a very Western feel, which I had more of an appreciation for this go round. I felt like they did it right a lot more. Again, barring some of the issues I just pointed out.
Yeah, no, I can completely agree with that. Elihu. Hey, oh wait, there's something like right here, kind of green. Maybe it's trying to poke you.
What is it?
It's behind you.
Seriously?
Behind you to your left.
Oh, this little guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's just taking a shotgun off of me, so that's it. Right?
Playing that like Saturday Night Live, huh? Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. You gotta get high. He's so short.
Problems. Did you have problems?
Yes. How the hell did the mining consortium know exactly when to take over the town?
That's another good point.
What the hell? I'm like, what the hell? Let me rewind this for a few minutes. Okay, then all of a sudden, boom! Like, where the hell do these guys come from? Did they have spies or something? Come on. And I'm gonna be politically correct. Comics, they're Tuscans.
Sand People.
Tuscans.
I'll say both.
Well, either way,
it's not Tuscan Raiders.
It sounds like.
Listen,
they're Tuscan adventurers.
Oh God. Okay.
And this is one little thing. Hey, if you can just share my screen real fast, Chris, I'll show you. There's no sound to it, so there's no copyright infringement. So don't worry about it.
I'll fight it. It's all right.
This little thing right here. Look how CGI fake that is. Come on. I can actually tell.
Okay. And your
That's
point?
what I have a problem with.
Listen, if you want to bump in a couple of $20 million, I'm sure they'll be glad to take it.
Hey, everything looks fine. I'm like, you can tell it's actually fake. I'm like, come on. That's the problems I have with it. And the translation, I'm like, come on, at least put the subtitles on there. What are they actually saying? I don't read ASL or TSL, Tatooine Sign Language.
Yeah, I'll get to that. Comic issues.
I had two main issues. I did not like the music. It sounded kind of beachy, Western. I'm not sure what a good accurate description of it, but it didn't sound Star Warsy to me, especially.
Yeah, I agree.
After he got out of the bar and was going to the planet, that was it kind of distracted me. And usually music don't distract me whenever I'm watching a story. And also what also kind of was crazy to me, he was speaking the Tuscan Raiders language, and then when him and the Timothy Oliphant characters start arguing, then he did the sign language and spoke regular English, like they could understand. So I'm like, how the hell is that? So is it sign language or is it grunting in sign language?
Well,
at the very end, he did the sign language that he spoke English instead of doing the sign language and speaking to, because correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Well, I'll answer you right now what that is. He was giving the sign language. I think he felt that the marshal didn't trust him and what he was saying right then. So I think he did. If you've ever seen, and this happens sometimes, like when you're around somebody who's used to be around deaf people and they just sign, it's just what they're used to it. Well, sometimes when you're there and they're kind of conscientious that maybe if you're a part of the conversation that they need to audibly say what they're signing so you understand it. I think he was signing for the Sand People and he was audibly saying what he was signing so he heard it that way, because then he looked at him and said, I'm telling them the exact same thing I'm about ready to tell you. You need to be, this, and this. I think that's what they were doing. I could be wrong.
Can I interject something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, one thing I want to point out too, and it's the reason why they did this, since they're doing the Sand People as the Native American analog, the Native Americans actually did have their own form of sign language to be able to communicate with other tribes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they added that in.
Yeah. All right. And what else?
Last thing, to me, it seemed like the Mandalorian suit is, so to speak, Iron Man, the complete Iron Man, and Boba Fett is like partial Iron Man. So I'm like, how in the hell can his suit be so more protective and he got gaps, visible gaps in it and stuff?
Yeah,
he must get like an unlimited supply of rockets because he shot the rocket. I never see him replace it or get a replacement ornament or whatever. So to me, I was like, well, unless that backpack got like multiple rockets in it.
I can actually answer that one too. That goes back to toy lines. Before or when the holiday special came out, they designed a Boba Fett toy. Mm-hmm. And the toy had a launchable missile in it.
Yes, it did.
And Kenner, was it Kenner?
It was Kenner.
Yeah, Kenner was so deathly afraid that kids were going to swallow it that they scrapped the toy. The toy went out to, and I think I've heard of maybe like 15 of them in existence that people actually have a hold of them.
I've got a friend that has one. It's uncolored. It's like the prototype. He's got it with shooting.
There's like several out there that it just depends on what you find. But so he has the missile, but they never intended to show that it was ever shot. Well, this is just kind of a, hey, look, we know that it's kind of just the whole homage thing, I think, more than anything, that they're showing that. But there's a long story of why you never, ever saw him fire that missile.
Yeah, but they also fired the missiles in Clone Wars.
They do. But in this particular instance, I think it was just really important to show, look, except they also show how impractical this whole idea of this missile on a backpack is. It's like, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to look. I'm just going to look down at the ground and hope to God this thing doesn't burn my back of my head off. Okay, I'm sorry. Anything else, Danny?
That's all I have.
Okay. Shellback.
I didn't really have any major gripes, but like I was talking to some of our EU compadres, on the Twitters, and they were talking about the banthas, the banthas being sacred, and that they wouldn't use them to sacrifice to the Krayt Dragon, and like that, and they've been nerfed, or whatever the word you want to use, a little bit, like they're not aggressive enough, and all this, and it's like, and I used the Dances with Wolves analogy in that respect, as far as the them talking with Mando and working with Mando and all that stuff. I was like, well, saying that they should be more aggressive, and they hate anybody that's not a Tuscan and all that stuff. I'm like that's like saying that one brave, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that one brave on Dances with Wolves that wanted to just outright kill John Dunbar, right?
So I'll be right back. I gotta make my fries. They're cold.
That's it's like saying that all the Tuscans, sand people, whichever terminology you prefer, that they should still be like that, instead of them being like Kicking Bird, Graham Greene's character, who wanted to find out what John Barr was, what Lieutenant, John Dunbar was about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm seeing it, I'm seeing it as them being like Kicking Bird, instead of that brave. You know, it's like to me, it's it's a good thing that they're having them, commune and not being the, mindless savages that everybody thinks that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Or that they have the reputation of being or whatever.
Yeah. So, but overall, you don't have anything that you found off-putting or didn't like. Or...
No, not really. I mean,
I know you're a big fan of Baby Yoda, but not enough Baby Yoda, maybe.
No, actually, I think that that's one thing that they did right. Is he was there, but it wasn't his show. Like it was actually the Mandalorian show this time.
To an extent. Okay. All right. Okay. Bear?
Yeah, I had questions about the Tuscan Raiders, otherwise known as Sand People. The language in the signing. I don't think we've ever seen Tuscan Raiders language this in depth before, or then they've revealed that they're, other than the EU stuff, the language of the Tuscan Raiders. I'm mixed. I'm really mixed. I like it, but there's just something that bugs me about it.
Okay. All right.
And
I've got a quick question. If anybody can confirm this, but it seems like somewhere, sometime, I saw a story about a Tuscan Raider, right? And his headgear, his headgear either got knocked off or he took it off or something, right? And he was a human, he was, it wasn't like an alien. It was it's a human underneath there. So I don't know. Can anybody?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Confirm or contradict that the Tuscans are actually human?
I don't think they are. I know that they adopted one of the sons of a Jedi into the tribe, and he basically adopted the culture of the Tuscan Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the only one I could think of that you're referring to. But as far as I'm aware of, we've never actually had a review of what the Tuscan Raiders actually look like.
Yeah, I don't think that they've ever absolutely given us a peek underneath.
And there was an actual Tuscan Raider that was a Jedi.
Well, that was the guy I'm talking about. He's not actually a Tuscan Raider. He's human.
Yeah,
but he always wore the Tuscan Raider mask.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Bear?
There was a lot of pacing in the story, and I thought it could have been maybe cinched up a little bit. Because I was real happy to see actual story unfolding before my eyes. It was nice. It was nice to watch, and they still hasn't got the atmosphere entry noise really right for the ship. It sounds fluttery. It doesn't really sound like an engine, and it sounds like they flutter the music when he was coming in to land, and they ain't got that right. It bugs me. Something about it bugs me. We should be hearing engine noise when it's landing. Shouldn't be hearing the background music and all that stuff for that scene. You should be able to tell the difference between it and the engine. And I really couldn't. I found that kind of irritating.
Too much score, huh?
A little bit too much score and not enough engine noise. And you couldn't tell what the engine was and what the score was at that point because it was doing that flutter back and forth.
It's somebody in their sound department that thinks that their way is better. That's exactly what it's going to come down
to. Sound mixing issues.
Well, it was when
it's like we want to hear the damn engines.
When the Falcon was being tractor beamed into the first Death Star, it was more music than the the engine sound of the Falcon. So
That's because he shut down the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shut
well,
it
yeah,
down.
but it was
rough.
still running. I mean, he didn't.
No, he
shut
shut it down. He says there's no point in, and he shuts it down because they're in the process of trying to make it look like nobody's been on it.
Yeah, they're trying to make it look like a derelict ship.
Yeah. So then that's when you get the dun 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 dun. Sorry, I had to
Yeah,
do
but when
You should just do the score.
when you
I'll
see it
try.
going into the Death Star and they give you the ass-end view of the Falcon, you can still see the freaking light from the engines.
That's called continuity error. if it is, I have to go back and look at it. I don't know. All right, JJ, problems.
I've got one major one.
Yes.
Okay, I was able to look past the Crate Dragon. I was able to look past going back to Tatooine. But this really bothered me, and I'm pulling an Elihu. I'm sharing my screen real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This.
What about it?
Egg.
No,
the pearl.
No,
It's like a pearl.
it's a crate pearl.
Yeah.
They're rare.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh look, they just happened to find one. That was just too damn convenient.
There's okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, but no.
Well, that doesn't mean that wasn't a rare event.
Oh my god!
So I don't know if it's EU or if it's Disney lore that they claim that Tuscan Raiders try to attack these things and kill them so they can find a pearl. Because when a sand person is to become an adult, they have to find one of these things. It's kind of
That's fine.
Rite of
I got all
passage.
that, but
Yeah.
you know, if they're able to kill it, you know, of course, you know, they're gonna utilize the animal because you know it's meat, it's building material, it's clothing, you know, but you know that makes sense, just like a typical hunter. But the fact that hey look, there's a crate pearl.
I think it just shows that there's more to it behind why they wanted to kill the thing than just that. Because they specifically asked them. They say when we kill it, they get the carcass. So they're
Right.
definitely there's a purpose for this, and then I think that's what they showed there. But that's my opinion. So,
But you know, all in all, you
Yeah,
know,
they're digging, not cutting.
that's my biggest problem with the whole episode. You know, I can look past the rest of it, even if it's almost a carbon copy or the second or third episode of season 1. You know, look, got to help them kill. He's got to help him kill something. Oh, okay, because in exchange you'll get such and such. You know, I can look past all that. That damned pearl.
so you're not into jewelry, are you? I got you.
Diamond in the rough.
Okay. Final.
Could you imagine a necklace of those things?
Oh Jesus. Okay. Final. Go ahead. What
Phrasing,
problems did you
phrasing.
have?
Phrasing.
I wasn't. See, I thought like when I'm watching a show and they're going to do a callback or they're going to do an homage to something, I like little things like the crepe pearl being in there. I didn't find such a problem with the fact that it's rare because I mean you're getting it once in a show. Now if it pops up every episode every time they go to Tatooine, that's different. But that's like having the movie Aladdin, but he doesn't find the lamp. It's like what's the purpose of that? I like that the little homages here and there to things. Seeing R5. That's a nice little, and that was the same one because
That's right.
But anyway, I don't want to bring all that stuff up. But what I didn't like about it, the pacing, it's hard to say things that haven't been mentioned already, but I'll just try to keep it brief. The pacing, I thought, a little slow, could have been tightened up. Definitely the Tuscan Adventurers, as they're now properly politically correct called, Tuscan Adventurers. I think that I'm just joking. That's kind of silly that he's first season we saw him speaking using the hand language, which makes sense. Well, it doesn't make sense that he knows how. We still don't know how he knows how. Now he's expanded it to being able to make the guttural yelling battle cries, which apparently are also part of the language. So he knows both of these now fluently, you know, but we still have no idea how he knows this. How much time has he spent on Tatooine? You know, was he on Tatooine before for season 1? Was his Coven, were they first on Tatooine before they went to Navarro? You know, I don't know. We don't know any of this stuff. So that's still an issue to how they have such respect for him, you know.
Hey, Final.
he was.
I think they listen to us.
Well, I think we
kind of complained about the hand motion stuff. I think they listened.
They also
He
put
was on
Baby Yoda in the
Tatooine last
background.
season.
No, I know, but I mean, he
that's-
already knew how to speak he already knew how to the hand language. You know, he knew how to do that last season. So where did he learn that? And now this season he's speaking the language. So where did he learn that? You know, just little things like that. I still have a problem from the first season, and they haven't really fixed it yet. They haven't dealt with it yet, which is okay. But with how the Mandalorians don't know who these mysterious Jedi sorcerers are. You know, this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. In Rebels, we see, well, first of all, Sabine's working with Ezra and with Kanan. We see them work with, other Mandalorians with the Darksaber episodes from Rebels, which only happened in Star Wars chronology 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9 years before. And they seem to these mysterious. We once eons ago, 8 years, eon.
Yeah,
You know, I've got a little issue with that. Like, they should be well aware of who. Plus, in Clone Wars, you bring that into it. It's like, oh my god, you know, Darth Maul, Ahsoka. Like, how do you not know your history?
that's a lot of my
when
complaints
Mandalorian,
with
where
the
culture is so
prequel
rich.
stuff.
I think
Yeah.
when she said eons, she was referring to the war, you know, long time ago, the war between the Mandalorians and the
No,
Jedi.
but she called them sorcerers. You know, it's like they should be very well aware of what happened 8 years ago to their culture. So
Yeah,
you know,
well,
still a little issue there.
I got an issue with that too.
I have some thought behind that. Obviously, they're separated. Maybe some clans, some coven know more about it than others, but it does.
But this happened on Mandalore. I mean, especially Clone Wars.
I understand, and the fact that they know about them, how is it they lost touch with it?
Mhm.
Okay,
Remember what the mechanic said when she saw the child? Thank the Force.
Yep.
Yeah, she knew who.
Did.
Yeah, she knew
Yeah.
who it was.
Sorry, I'm eating, guys. I don't eat on camera.
okay, okay. Anything else?
Gates, okay.
All
Only
right.
eating-
We're trying.
I don't like the fact that they changed the Krayt Dragon's look, you know, to make it more in line with like Dune or Tremors. I'm not really sure what the.
I think
I'm
they
not sure
did
what
that
the
to cut down on
purpose-
the budget for the CG. I think that's the
Well,
reason
I
why.
think
just to keep it underground so they wouldn't have to
somebody
film it.
told me
That's
that there's
possible.
different that there are different conceptual art throughout different things. But I don't know about that.
I heard it has legs, but we just didn't see them.
More often than not, I've seen it with legs. But anything else there? Final.
The only last thing is, you know, I have my ideas, but Boba Fett, I agree with comics like Boba Fett not having the armor. You know, how did that happen? I have an idea of how that might have happened, but you know, it doesn't, like, he wouldn't have given that up, I don't think, naturally, you know, unless
That
he
bears
was
some
just
explaining.
some shamed out of wanting to leave his former life behind. But you know, that's just something that needs to be addressed eventually. Of course, we just got the little cameo, so I'm not saying that's a huge issue. I'm sure we'll find out going forward. But yeah, that's it.
In the
Okay.
in the comic, there's either a comic or something to where when Boba Fett escaped from the Sarlacc pit, he took off his armor because he thought it to be compromised from all the acidic Sarlacc freaking saliva or whatever.
Yeah, the digestive
The
juices.
acidity stuff. that-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not digested. It just comes in a separate pouch.
Yeah, I don't think it would have ditched it though.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
when we
okay.
see,
I got
when
a
we see
question
it
about
hanging
that.
up.
Go ahead, Dan.
That green stuff that the dragon threw, wasn't it disintegrating people, or did I see it wrong?
It was
Yeah,
yellow.
but
me.
that's different than the Sarlacc pit.
Yellow was
Sarlacc.
the color was yellow. It was disintegrating.
I thought it was
Okay.
like
I
a
don't-
green yellow, like a green yellow.
Yeah,
because
I don't know if
Yeah.
it was disintegrating him.
It looked like it was just hurting them badly, not
Yeah.
just straight up disintegration.
Oh no, I saw
Yeah.
them being disintegrated. There were a
Yeah,
couple.
okay.
people that
It looked
got,
like they're being disintegrated.
I may
Yeah,
have missed that.
Okay.
yeah, they were totally
Now.
disintegrated.
Final. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, really quick, we're gonna do this really quick. 32 Flava Flavs of NickWeiser. God, Jesus. First off, turn your mic up just a bit if you can.
Okay. How you hear me? Hello? Hello. Testing.
Just a tiny bit.
Testing.
Okay. All right. So, I'm going to give you the first two questions.
All right.
Try to make it quick. I'm going to let you answer them. First one, what was your overall opinion of this episode? Second one, what is the problems you had with this episode?
All right. Overall, I liked the episode. I didn't love the episode. I have some issues, of course, like everyone, pacing. There were things that I liked, and I know this was addressed Comix Division would know on Friday Night Tights. At least this episode was not filled with wokeness. So if the worst of my issues is that the pacing is a problem. I'd rather have that be an issue than like the constant divisiveness that was the sequel trilogy. So I think we could all agree on that. At least these are our problems right now, and these are also issues that can at least be. We can say, okay, these are the issues that can have a better chance actually being worked at. Because unlike the wokeness where there's double, triple down, they just like, it's like, oh, how can we get even more wokeness on this? Like, oh, I'm going to sprinkle a little more. I'm like, oh, no, you're hurting me. Please stop.
Yeah, these are all issues we can live with.
Yeah, right? So I can at least live with these issues. I will say I really dug the opening scene. It had like a Batman-esque thing with Mando going like a fist fight. So there were things I liked. The action was cool. There were times where I felt like the world was kind of teeny tiny. So I will say that. So it was, and Star Wars, I know it's a TV budget, but since Star Wars is like such a huge world, it didn't feel like a world, just like a town. And that could be a nitpick. I'll admit that. Go ahead, Jedi Master.
It has nothing to do with it being a TV budget or movie budget. It's what the studio allowed them to do. Because, for example, when the show Heroes first came out, season 1, their budget was about $85,000 to $100,000. Season 2, $1 million.
Oh, they upped it. They upped it.
The studio allots the production company to spend. It has nothing to do with TV or movies.
Oh, okay, okay.
Anything else there, Nick?
You know, like I said, it's kind of like weird that we had a whole first season, and I do like the voice actor. I mean, even though the rumor around Pedro Pascal seems kind of off, I do like his voice as Mando. I just hope we actually can get some actual backstory to him.
Okay. Is that it?
As far as my brain can remember right now, I'm sure more tidbits will pop up as we all chat away.
Right. Wow, lucky you.
So,
I can go more.
My issues, and most of this comes down to one thing. So first off, continuity. I really have an issue with the ability to tie into the next thing. We don't see him ever leave the planets. We don't ever see him. You know, there's things there that I want to see. It's like we always see Obi-Wan and Anakin leave a planet and get to the next planet. We see these things. It helps connect scenes. Well, these are just scenes. And every episode's like a scene, a new thing that's going on, a separate part of a movie. And I'd like to see connection. We just start out, here he is walking into this area again. And we're like, what? How did you get here? We know you left. We know you're trying to find people. We know you were trying to find where the child goes. But why here?
I think that goes into some of the issues with season 1 with the, is it, a linear story or is it episodic?
Exactly. They're having a hard time really go ahead.
We don't always need to see him doing travel time.
Well, but I'm not talking about travel time. Here's the thing. I know that the guy, when he gets to the fight, says, I offered, information to you. Okay, fine. They tell us why he chose there, but we don't know that until that point. It's like, okay, I kind of like knowing why before they give me the exposition. But that's the thing about this movie this show is, this show is exposition.
I hear you on that.
They have a lot of exposition that they either get completely wrong or decide that it's just not necessary. Where did he get the ability to talk to Tuscan Raiders? What in the world what's the point of it? Has he been around them so much that this has proven to be a useful commodity to him? So much so that instead of running away from him like they do everything else, no, I mean, first off, I know that Kenobi doesn't make. I think a lot of people confuse what the noise he makes at the beginning of, or in the A New Hope.
Twirling sound.
Well, it depends. Whichever.
Allegedly, it's a dragon noise.
Exactly. It depends on the version you watch.
Yeah.
It changes like 4 times. They changed it so many times. It's crazy.
That's right.
But my point is that we know that they're skittish. Why? I mean, even if they hear him speaking or making their grunts and stuff, the first thing they're going to say is, "This isn't one of us. He looks different than us. We're not going near him." Why are they so comfortable? Because every time we go and there's Tuscan Raiders, he's buddy with them. Literally sits down, has dinner with. I mean, they're sitting in.
They've got like respect for him, but it's not been warranted. We don't know why yet.
Exactly. That's
explanation.
Very important. It's very important that they give exposition on something that's so obviously normal for both sides.
Get this. Have you ever been around a hunting party with dogs? You come across somebody stranger. You have friends with those dogs? Okay, the guys are going to back off. They're friends with you. You got to friend the dog first.
No. Because this happened in season 1 too. We need that exposition. And I keep on. Okay. I think that they're going to get to that.
He's not a kid.
All right,
he's not a kid. He's been working as a bounty hunter for a while.
Okay, but
there is
let me finish
reasonable.
Shell, let him go now.
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay.
Oh, God damn it!
Still.
All right, listen. The mining thing was a really good catch there, Eli. That this mining guild or whoever they are walk in literally seconds after.
That felt very generic too.
No, they were already at the bar. They were at the bar drinking. They stepped outside for a death stick break, and just happened that the Death Star got blown up, and they're like, guys, they're hopped up on the death stick juice. They're like, guys, this is our time. Let's go in there and take it.
Well, the other thing too is like, if you're enslaving people, you shouldn't go around murdering all of them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they take out the whole cantina.
But they
like, damn, we got to do our own mining.
Well, not everybody's in the cantina.
Death stick juice went to their heads.
And how lucky for the marshal that he grabbed the one that had the monetary value.
Yeah.
It's like dude, I could grab 1,000 things out of that speeder, and it ain't going to be any of that stuff because that's just it's like, yeah, I mean, and now, okay, here's another thing. Now that everybody in the world knows that it was an ice cream maker back in Empire Strikes Back, they have to use this every opportunity they can now. It's like, wow. I mean, I'm
so glad I'm like Nick. I'm so glad we're nitpicking.
Well, I'm going to talk about that really quick.
Instead of discussing,
purple hair.
Because I'm the Force is female and I'm the best
ever. Let me explain this really quick. And I've explained this to a few people about EU fans and all of this. Here's the fact of the matter. Favreau and Filoni have a monumental task to do something that most people probably, when the trilogy hit The Last Jedi, thought never could happen. They have to keep the Disney Star Wars fans interested, but they have to continue to make sure that the old Star Wars fans are like, okay, I can handle this. They're in a mix because until somebody in the whole Lucasfilm arena comes back and says, okay, we've used enough of the old EU that we said didn't exist, that we're going to go ahead and say, okay, it exists again.
You just described the majority of us.
I know.
Didn't Kathleen Kennedy
The reason why
that she found these books? They're going to go back and take a look at the books.
Here's the thing.
That's because the Lucas people are the ones paying the bill.
Filoni and Favreau are Lucas sympathizers. I guess I'd put it that way. They are fans of George Lucas. Filoni himself, I think, still has a really good relationship with George Lucas. So I think he's like, you know what? I don't care what Disney's decided. I have to add some of this stuff off because it's going to help those fans who know about this stuff. They're going to be like, oh, I like seeing that. I like seeing that. The little Easter eggs and stuff. They feel like they need to let that out there for the old Star Wars fans. Now, EU people are going to pick it apart because they're saying, oh, but that's not the proper way to do it. That's the thing. Well, that's because they can't fully integrate it the way that it was designed to be integrated because they still have to make sure that the people who don't understand it, the Disney Star Wars fans, are still going to be acceptable of it. So you have this really bad mix, and somehow Filoni and Favreau are finding this way of mixing the crap together, but it's, you know, when they serve it to you, it's palatable. And we're all sitting here nitpicking because it's interesting enough for the old fans to go like, I like this. And the Disney fans are going like, oh, I like this. And here we are nitpicking together. Oh, I don't like that they didn't have enough inclusion or enough, you know, they don't have enough of a female voice. And we're sitting here going like, oh, they're doing this or they're doing that. I'm saying that the nitpicking is just not enough for everybody. I mean, there's a very, very small percentage of people who are going to say they hate this show. On that point, last topic we're going to talk about, what were the things that you liked most about this episode? Comix, go ahead.
I like the Marshal. I thought that was a really kind of fun character. I'll give it a pass that it came from Chuck Wingdings because I hate him. But yeah, I know he's the character the actor from Justified, which is a show I've never watched. But yeah, he was pretty fantastic.
Good show.
Yeah. Trying to think of what else. I mean, for the most part, there's certain things I will give it a pass on. I know that we kind of talked about the CG. Again, just with the nature of how it's being filmed, I don't think it's as much of a big deal. But I think story-wise, it was a nice little story. It was decent. I'm not gonna say it's great, but yeah, at least we're debating the merits of the show rather than how much identity politics are in it.
Indeed. Okay. Jedi Master Who?
What I liked about the show or this episode so far, well, I like how they're actually getting the child or Baby Yoda and Mando. Basically, they're kind of in sync a little bit because if Chris wants to show the little screen here.
What is it with you guys and share? Oh, I am so with LDG on this. We need to have like you need to allow people. You need like assign roles.
Why are you so anti-screen share all of a sudden? Huh?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Anyways, hands
owned.
Okay. Yeah, where's your screen? Because I got something I'm trying to share too. Oh my God, what are we doing here?
Okay. You can tell that they're actually syncing each other because when he did this, you can see him going, oh shit. Yep. Actually, go down.
I actually thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I just noticed
That's
that.
Star Wars humor. Situational Star Wars humor.
Yes, they're actually communicating. They're actually bonding together finally. It's not just a random babysitter.
Well, that and the pit droid getting his freaking eyeball stuck in the freaking vacuum cleaner type. You know,
man, this sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Okay.
That was your favorite part?
That was my favorite part. Sorry.
All right, cool. Danny.
I like the opening scene as well. I thought it was shades of Iron Man because that gadget on his hand looked extremely like Iron Man when he went to the desert and shot those things at his shoulder and neutralized everybody. So seeing the fact that that Jon Favreau wrote, created, and directed this, I'm sure he kind of stole that and implemented it, which I don't have a problem with it. I like Jon Favreau a lot. Like I said, the only thing that I don't like, is that music. But other than that, I thought this was a very solid episode. It makes me look forward to the upcoming episodes. Like I said earlier, I'm a definitely Timothy Oliphant fan. I loved him when he played Hitman. And I saw kind of shades of that when they were about to draw on each other. Still don't understand how Mando has Iron Man's full armor and he has a piece of Iron Man's armor and still seems to have the same protection, but I can live with that. Like I said, a solid show. If I had to grade it, I'd give it a B+.
What is it with everybody grading already? We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
I'm sorry.
My God.
I'm definitely waiting for Friday morning. I want to see it.
Sorry.
I want to see what my two is going to be.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. You said this is going to be the last question of the night, so that's why.
It doesn't mean I'm not going to go around and ask you that. I mean, that's not a question so much as give it to me now. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Anyways, all right. B+. I'll remember that. And you got to give me a letter grade, Eli. So you kind of.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay. Anyways, Shell, what was your favorite part of this?
Well, crap. I don't know. There was several things that I liked. I actually liked the fact that the Gamorreans in the fighting ring didn't look like weeble wobbles. And that they looked like they could actually move.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Timothy Oliphant's character. I mean, he damn near stole the show. I mean, he
overshadowed Mando a bit.
But and the if you've seen Justified, if you've seen the show Justified, you're like totally right now. Well, boy, that was just a freaking, easy little, shimmy from playing the Justified character to playing this character. Because the Justified character was a U.S. Marshal.
Yeah.
But and I liked how they for lack of a better term flushed out the the Sand People, the Tuscans, that because to me it's like I've had enough of the one trick pony thing, so to speak. It's like, well, the entire planet's a desert planet, or Corellians are freaking awesome pilots, and Mandalorians are just warriors, and it's like you're seeing the Sand People as more than just mindless freaking
one-dimensional characters.
Yeah. So
I don't disagree with that. Okay.
And the crate dragon fight, hunt, whatever you want to call it. Take down, shake down, you busted.
This is not Beverly Hills Mando.
But the giant, the giant crossbows. I thought the giant crossbows were a nice touch. It reminded me of Game of Thrones with the Iron Island sailors, shooting at the dragon.
I was trying to figure out where they got wood for crossbows.
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself.
If you add water to the sand over time, they mold it, and then over time they leave it, and then it becomes this wood-like.
Maybe it's composite. Maybe it's composite.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. You done distracted me now. Thanks.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Those of you that are Timothy Oliphant fan. Perfect Getaway is one of his early movies. It's awesome. There's a director's cut available. Gotta check it out.
Yeah. Okay, Bear. favorite parts?
Well, I'm gonna have to go with Timothy Oliphant. The camaraderie, the exchange between Mando and Cobb Vanth, that was good. Plus, I like the wire work that they did.
Yeah.
I was a little impressed. I gotta say that's probably one of my most favorite parts out of the many favorites that I have about it.
You mean where they were landing or they were flying around the Dragon?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Bear, because that probably would have been one of the next things I was going to say.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the conversation back and forth and the story between the two. It was good.
Which of the wire work did you like best, when they were flying around the Dragon or the landing scene?
All of it. All of it. I liked all of it.
Like, that's a perfect landing right there. The bounce.
Yeah, the landing, the takeoff, the hit on the with the butt of the rifle on the rocket pack.
Yeah,
I liked it all. I was like,
that's
cool. A throwback.
Yeah, I was going to say that was
definitely
definitely a nod to Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I would say those moments. Those moments. Yes, for sure.
All right. JJ, or anything else, Bear?
Yeah, that's about it, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I was impressed.
All right. JJ.
Well, I know how everybody loves the child. I think my most favorite part of the show, and I got to share the screen for this because you won't understand it unless you see it. Look for it, Chris. Look for it.
Scroll down.
I see that. I see it.
That smile, man.
Oh, yes. When he's flying on the bike, yeah.
That smile. When I saw that, I'm like, okay.
Flapping ears.
This is a cool kid right here. All right. I loved a lot of the Easter eggs that were in this episode. I don't know if anybody noticed. One of the guys walking down the mining town was Sam Witwer.
Mm-hmm.
And Oliphant Speeder was
Chris.
One of
screen. While JJ's talking, can you show the screen? While JJ's talking,
Anakin's pod racer.
Yep. Anakin's pod racer.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sold on the idea that was Sam Witwer. I mean, it looked like him, but it didn't look exactly like him. You know,
Well,
all
right.
The R5, of course, R5D4, and that is R5D4 because where his the blown port was, it's got carbon scoring around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just and all the graffiti on the walls in the beginning.
Oh yeah, I caught the C-3PO.
There's a ton of
3PO, Vader, the Emperor, all kinds of stuff on that. Yeah, all kinds of stuff, man. A lot of callbacks.
Where's the graffiti? There it is. Oh, there's graffiti.
Yeah.
All right.
Hours of detail you can go through.
But all in all, it wasn't a bad episode. I just, there's always room for improvement. But those are the things I liked about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the graffiti. Chris showed it.
All right. Final. I know you got to go, so why don't you give us your overall score, your favorite parts, and then tell everybody about yourself one more time.
Okay. So what I liked about it, like you guys were saying, the detail, R5 was definitely, it was intentionally R5 from A New Hope because you see the scoring and everything on it. And she mentions the bad motivator. I like the Anakin's engine thing. I noticed that too while watching it. I think it's debated whether it is or not. I kind of hope it's not. I kind of hope it's more the same model because if it is, similar. It's a little too on the nose. It's like, he's got Boba Fett's armor and he's got Anakin's bike, or part of his bike.
I just took it as a pod racer engine, and that was it.
Yeah, that's what I took it as.
Really think it was Anakin's.
It's got to be a very common, part to be used in bikes all over Tatooine. So, but just the fact that it looked like it was nice. The crepe pearl, I know JJ, you weren't a fan of that scene, but I do like the fact that it was in there. I thought that was a nice little call out as well. I obviously Boba Fett at the end, the whole thing centering around his armor. Timothy Oliphant was great. I like the fact that the armor didn't look good on him. It didn't fit him. It looked it looked like he wasn't really meant for it because it wasn't meant for him. It looked odd on him as opposed to Mando, where the armor fits perfectly because it's meant for him. So I like the fact. He did look a little
scrawny.
Yeah, he looked a little scrawny for it. Like it worked. That was obviously intentional. Having Boba at the end with the twin sons, there could be some symbology there. I have my opinions of where I think they're going to take it. I know we were just talking about this.
That staff he was holding.
Yeah, I think that's I think he's wearing like sand people garb.
Yeah, he is. He's got a cycler rifle and a gaffy stick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think he's been scavenging, to stay alive. I think whatever he had is gone. He lost the Slave One. He lost whatever money he made on the Solo bounty. Which was apparently a lot, at the time. I think he lost all of that, and he's lost his armor. I think probably probably something happened after he got out of the pit. The other nice thing they show is Mando breaking out of the Krayt Dragon. That was obviously a little hint to like, hey, look, Mando was able to fly out after being swallowed. So was Boba Fett. I think that was intentional. But I think maybe something happened to.
Broken.
What's that?
His rocket was broken when he went in there.
Yeah.
No. Well, the thing is then how is it that same rocket? Here's the thing. I think that they showed that perhaps it's not broken because they hit it and it malfunctions.
Yeah, he just like turned it on.
In Return of the Jedi. And then when Mando does it to him again in this, it's a malfunction because of where it gets hit. So I think what they're trying to show is that no, it was not broken. It was just malfunctioning because of being hit in a certain spot. Think of it how Han Solo hits the Falcon. Boom, he knows right where to hit it because that fixes the problem. I think they're trying to correlate the exposition in a sense.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that's why they showed Mando hitting Boba Fett's armor on Vanth, when he did. That was showing like he just turned it on. He didn't necessarily, he just turned it on without him noticing. So it flipped on and he wasn't able to control it at the time. Because obviously they're hard to well, I don't know. Mando seemed to use it pretty quickly. But I think they're it takes a little time to get used to using them. So you have to be ready for it. I'm sure you have to be in control of your body weight and, whatever controls they have for it. So just hitting it and turning it on real quick is going to cause it to jump off. And probably like if you jumped on a bike and just slammed on the gas without being properly, your weight distribution, it's going to throw you off it, So I think it was more that. I mean, I'm pretty sure
you're not ready for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So yeah, that's what I liked about it overall. I also like the Baby Yoda was a side piece. He was in the background. It wasn't like they're focusing so far. They're focusing the season. And I know it's going to change because inevitably the quest is to reunite Baby Yoda with the Jedi. But so far it's like you have to find the Mandalorians. Keep it about the Mandalorian show. Find the Mandalorians.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was so that that having that be a focus. Is a good thing, Give me give my kind of opinion of where Boba it might go with where they might take Boba or not.
Go ahead.
My idea is that he's going to kind of, he saw what happened. He sees Mando on his bike with his armor, or he might not know it's his armor, but he obviously sees a Mandalorian. I think he's going to probably pose as a friend, a lost Mandalorian. I can help get back to the tribe. This is my armor. Here's what happened to me. Mando's going to maybe be suspicious, but come to trust him like a brother. Yes, let's go find these Jedi. And then Boba's gonna turn the table on him, backstab him, grab Baby Yoda, and try to get Baby Yoda for himself to get the bounty on Baby Yoda and try to reclaim his position as like top bounty hunter and with his armor back. That's my initial feelings. I don't know, who knows, but that's just my initial feelings.
All right,
because I'd like to see him as an adversary rather than like a friend or partner to Mando. I don't want to see two Mando.
I think he's going to be an adversary. Absolutely. I'll give my opinion here in a minute, but go ahead and first off, score A or F through A.
Okay, I would give it a 6+ or a B C.5.
C plus.
Yeah, I'm giving
2.5.
C.5 or a 6+. Yeah.
C.5.
I'll let you do the math.
5 or C or 6 plus. You see, that's okay. All right, very good. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, all that fun stuff. Because I know you got to go to another stream.
Yeah, you can find me in 10 minutes on my channel.
Yeah,
I'm doing my Enter the Nether show in 10 minutes. But I typically do it at 7 o'clock on Sundays. I'm just doing it a half hour early this week because I'm doing a show on Creepy Little Books channel later tonight at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Mm-hmm. So I have to do my show a little earlier. I'll have Flipped Out on as my guest, and then both of us will be on Creepy Little Books channel at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time later tonight. And otherwise, every Sunday, Enter the Nether. I'm also on Bears when I am available on Saturday nights now because we started working again. So I'll be on Bears channel on Saturday nights. I'm also on the TR4, the Rogue Entertainment on Tuesdays and possibly Saturdays, again, depending on my schedule. But definitely Tuesdays I'll be there. And that's it. Thanks, guys.
Right.
It's nice to talk to everyone here and some of you I haven't talked to before. It's nice to meet you guys.
Nice
well,
to meet
thank you
you
very much. I appreciate you being here.
Take care, finally.
Hey, tell Pete to DM me on Twitter sometime.
Okay.
I do want to talk to him. So,
I will.
okay.
I will.
Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man.
Yeah, get easy.
All right, Nick. Now is your turn.
Oh, he left.
All right.
What is your favorite part?
All right, my favorite part. I like. I'm going to go with my favorite part. Probably. I mean, some CGI issues aside, the takedown of the Beast. I enjoyed that. And actually, hold up. Sorry. Second. That was my second. My first was the Marshal. The dude is just simply fucking awesome. Like, as mentioned earlier, he kind of stole the show, and I had a big chuckle when I saw him walk at the armor because I knew right away, I'm like, that's not Boba Fett. But
well, I saw it and I was like, did he go on a diet? Did the Sarlacc like suck all of his muscles out of him? Like, what the hell?
They took off the helmet. I'm like, okay, that's not Boba.
Well,
Like, yeah,
I knew
he
it
wasn't
was
even
all
standing
leading
like
up. The way they did it was all leading up to hit not being him. Because everybody knows he's in it this year. But look, no.
So that's like my one little problem.
Okay, wait. Before we go into other things here, let him finish with what he liked.
All right. So
I want to give him his time here.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, of course, I mentioned earlier, I mean, the opening fight was simply awesome, and I like how the child is, like, as mentioned earlier, he's being a little bit more animated. He's not just there to appease to the Disney crowd. He's actually, it's now there's a little chemistry going on. Now, also, it's like, now he's not just standing there to exist, to look cute. He's actually like, he's aware of his surroundings more, and it shows. And it's awesome to see him free fall too, especially when he's on the pod racer. Like, so it's nice to see him being more actual characteristic. So I enjoy those nice little touches there. So, and I hope we get more of that, so he actually feels like a fully developed character. So we'll see. Of course, I like the ending, seeing Boba and all the whole wardrobe. I'm like, where has this dude been all this time? So yeah, that's what I liked, of course. So yeah, that solid episode. I'd probably, if I want to get into I'd give it like a B, or if you want to get to numerical numbers, probably like a 7.9 out of 10. So good, but just a little shy of greatness.
Oops. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Forget about it.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
So, anything else?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. That's what's it, man. I'm a pretty simple guy like that. So no, like I said, overall, 7.9. It's good. Hopefully, we can lead to great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So no, like I said, overall. Like I said,
okay, and then no, I'm looking at. I liked all the Easter eggs were fun, but I do agree with you guys that if some of the Easter eggs are what they say they are, or what I've heard, like the pod racing, that it was Anakin's, one of the engines off of Anakin. That's a little too much.
It's a lot of member berries.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I
pod
like
racing equipment.
if it's just pod racing equipment, great, because they did these pod races all over the desert. There's going to be these pieces, and even though these things have fallen apart or flown apart or blown up parts of it, some parts, like there's a very believable side of this, that an engine does survive that, or at least survives it enough that somebody finds it, fixes it up, it works, and they strap a saddle on it, and now it's a speeder. I mean, that works. It was nice. It was a nice little talk about it.
That engine, the flaps on the front of it were in a different position than Anakin's pod racer engines. And to me, they looked like they were more solid mount. They didn't look like they were adjustable flaps. So I think it was just a similar. I think it was just a similar look.
And that's the thing. That's all that matters. But I did like the way this all works out. I literally thought when they first made made you think that it was Mando or that it was Boba Fett walking up. Just the way they designed that whole part. He goes in, he asks him about, there's somebody wearing my, the looks like me. And the guy says, oh yeah, the Marshal. Well, you still don't know that it's not Boba. You can think, okay, it's Tatooine. We know that they've set up a precedence for him getting out of the Starlight Pit. We don't know a lot about anything from that point to this point, but we figure, okay, so he gets to this little mining community and he takes control by basically instilling his own law. Mm-hmm. We can believe that. So it gave you enough believability that, okay, maybe they're going to show us Boba right off. And then they didn't. The way they did it, I think, was very well done. I mean, when you first see him, before you see his face, you're pretty sure it's not Boba Fett. You're looking at him going like, that does not look like Boba Fett. We know who's playing Boba Fett. That does not match up, because the guy who's playing Boba Fett, if I remember right, he's Samoan.
Yes.
And so he's not a fat guy or anything like that. He's bulky. He's got a lot of muscle and stuff. This guy does not have that. So
Tamura Morrison.
Yeah. And we're so when he sits down, he takes the mask off. We pretty much know it's not going to be Boba, but I liked the way that they kind of led you on to wondering, is it not? Is it not? I'm glad that it wasn't. They could have very easily copped out and just said, here you go. Here's Boba.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They didn't do that.
Chris, what gave it away for me was when he said, come on, let's have a nip. Yeah, drink in public, in which you have to take off your helmet. Mandalorian does not do that. That's
fine.
Right there. Like, wait a minute.
Here's the thing. That's not necessarily true.
Mandalorian does not remove the helmet in public.
They have
what about Rebels?
In person.
Yes, they did it in Rebels. Listen, this is where we're not going to get into the whole canon thing, because it jumps around so much with this.
Yeah.
That's my one nitpick thing. That's my one nitpick for the whole show is, from what I know, there's nothing said anywhere that a Mandalorian has to keep his helmet on 24/7.
I think that is this show. I think we're going to realize very quickly, and I think that they've been setting this up, and they're now giving a launch platform to where these different covens, these different groups of Mandalorian follow different rules. They have been separated, they're dispersed, and the longer they have gone away from others, they have kind of instilled their own things. Plus, we have to remember, this guy is not an actual Mandalorian. He was a sponsor, was it?
Foundling.
Foundling. Thank you.
Foundling.
Okay. Well, he's a foundling. So maybe they have different rules.
And that goes back to the whole it being a creed and not because you were born on a particular planet.
Okay, that's right. I think this is all goes into that exposition thing. We need to know why, because Favreau and Filoni, who worked very closely on, I think both Rebels and Clone Wars, they should know where they've differed from what they're telling you in this. Because if you go by what Disney says, the canon is all on-screen stuff. So that's Clone Wars, Rebels, their stuff, and the original Lucas trilogy and the prequels. Anything that varies from what you're telling us in this show from the other stuff, they should have ready the explanation. This should have been something talked about in storyboarding. Oh, wait a minute. In Rebels, they do take off their helmets. Why do they do it there and why they don't do it here? Okay, well, we're going to get to that. We'll insinuate this. We'll do this. This is all stuff that they should have really thought ahead of time. Not enough. I know, but not enough that I'm going to hate this show for it. But it would silence a lot of people who are already complaining about it. Now, I really like the Boba Fett reveal. I really liked it. I mean, I knew it was coming when they did it and how they did it, but the way he looks, it adds a whole nother air of what is he up to.
He also looks a lot more menacing now than he did in the movie.
But here's the thing. He's pissed off. He's pissed off, and here's the thing.
But even the actor, he looks more badass now.
I know. Here's the thing. I do not think that anything we've seen so far was not intentional. I think his armor, it's not totally out of the belief that it's with the Jawas. Perhaps the Jawas are the ones that found him almost clinging to life out in the desert. Wait, let me finish. Maybe they found him out in the desert, clinging to life, and he felt that he owed them something, so he gave him the only thing he had that would have been of value to them, which was his armor. Second off, Moff Gideon obviously gets around. I am not of the mind that he is not still watching The Mandalorian because he's been told The Mandalorian's looking. And that he is working for Moff Gideon already. And that he is playing a separate person from who he really is. He does not want to give The Mandalorian the belief that he is anything that he thinks he might be. He has the advantage knowing that the Mandalorian's looking for him. All he has to do is stay at a distance because that works to his advantage. Remember, he is a bounty hunter. He knows how to play a game. He has the perfect cover. He is not who he is not who he is. He doesn't look like it. It plays perfectly into how he would play this game. And who's to say that because remember, we have a whole season that now we've established that Boba Fett has existed. Boba Fett's existed this whole first season. We don't know if Moff Gideon had already talked to him and has already figured out some of the stuff because Moff Gideon knows a lot about a lot of different people and a lot of different things. Perhaps he's already figured out a lot of this stuff, and perhaps this is all a ploy to get the Mandalorian in a place where Boba Fett has the upper hand. Perhaps he left his armor purposely. We don't know a lot of that story. We just don't. I mean, I'm not saying that's a lot of workup, but Boba Fett has his tricks. So perhaps.
What were those two weapons that was on his back, though?
So I'm sure we'll find out.
A slug thrower and a gaffy stick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like I was saying earlier, though, according to that one story, after Boba Fett escaped the Sarlacc pit, he took off his armor and his clothes because all that Sarlacc saliva acid or whatever.
They're going to follow that or not. We just don't know.
And that somebody, I can't remember the name of it. If it was Cobb Vanth, I can't remember if it was Cobb Vanth or if it was another character name that came along and found Boba Fett's armor and was faking it till he made it type of.
It was actually changed from Aftermath, but same character, but they did change how he got the armor.
Yeah. Okay. So Eli, you gave it a what'd you give it? Grade
I
wise,
give it an A minus.
A minus. Danny, what did you give it? A B? What? Danny.
Hello. Knock knock.
Yeah,
Danny.
I'm sorry.
Danny.
I had a work thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you give it?
Give it a B plus.
B plus.
Definitely B
Okay, so
plus.
we got A minus, B plus. Comics. What did you give it?
I'd give it a C plus.
I thought you was giving it a C.5.
Hot
That's okay.
take. Hot
I-
take.
Hey, it's
I'll
still
tell you-
it's
I'll
still
tell you what.
passing grade.
I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
all right.
I don't think I almost kind of expected that from you, Comics, because I think you're going to be a little tough. And there's nothing wrong with this. I think you're going to be tough on this because, and I'll get to that here in a second. Okay, Shell, F to A. What do you give it?
Letters. Oh, good God.
Don't say
Don't make me make you
don't
mad.
say L.
B
Don't say L or P.
Hey,
B plus A minus. Just for the fact that I've got the continuing gripe about the whole helmet thing.
B plus. Gotcha. Okay, Bear.
8 out of 10 stars.
A, B, C, D, or F.
8 out of 10 stars. Figure it out. That's what I give it.
B plus.
That's a
A
B plus.
minus. Oh no, that's a B plus. Got it. Okay, B plus. Okay, B plus. All right, fine. JJ. Unmute yourself, JJ.
He's not muted.
He's not muted.
But he may not be muted there.
I
He
can
has
see.
headset.
Oh.
JJ. Okay.
All right, hold
Nick.
on.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
These cards.
Wait.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
All
You
right.
said B plus.
F to A.
I'll give it a strong B.
B. Okay. Nick.
B.
B. What'd you give it?
Aggressive.
Comics.
C plus.
That's where I'm at. C plus. Because here's the deal. Man, it felt like. Listen, it felt like it belonged in last season. I could have shoved it anywhere in last season. I could have. It just didn't seem like episode 1 to me. I think it's an episode 3 or 4. It's like somewhere
agree.
else. I mean, it was great. I love the episode. It just doesn't seem like a season 2 episode 1. We just jump right back into the let's go to the next place. It's like, where's the discussion with his new camaraderie? You know, with Grief Karga and Cara Dune. We just leave them like, oh, they don't exist now. We know they're there. But anyways, that's
Well, we see by the previews that they've shown. At some point, Mando goes and asks Cara Dune and Grief Karga to help him.
yeah,
So-
we know that. But I'm just saying that should have been in this episode. That should have just been right off the bat. Well, listen, you don't.
You should have this Mary
I
Band
have
of
the
Misfits.
HD version. I have the 1080 version. You have the 720. You're playing 720. I have 1080 in mine.
I don't care. I'm not. It doesn't matter. I'm not here.
What's the difference? What is that? 900.
We're just doing this because Bear has an opinion on this. I differ. I don't care. You guys can agree with me. You agree with me. You can tell us we're just crazy, which I'm sure a couple people might do. Okay, here's the thing. Last season, okay, first off, did Comics, I played something last week. The horn, the French horn they use for the Mandalorian, the
Okay.
Go and listen to the Klingon theme from the first Star Trek, the motion picture.
Oh yeah. I
That
know
is
exactly what
the
you're talking about.
exact same damn thing.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I was listening to it, I was like, where do I know that? And I was like, oh, I know it exactly, because it's constant throughout all the movies.
They stole it from Star Trek.
Yeah, okay.
The timing in between the I don't know, for the, I know this isn't a technical term, but the warbling or whatever in between notes is
Actually, it's a lot closer than you
is
think.
not. Yeah.
It's a lot closer.
There's enough of
Okay. All right. Here's the thing, guys. Let's be completely quiet. Let's mute. I want you to listen to this. So last season we heard the Spurs, and everybody was already jumping on it that this was Boba Fett. Now, this will kind of confirm what I just said about perhaps he's been following and dealing with this a lot longer than we know, because this is the first time we see Boba Fett. So part of this is confirming, if Bear's right, this confirms kind of what I've said, is that I think Boba Fett's been following him a lot longer than we know. But two, a lot of people speculated last season when we saw the shadow and we heard the Spurs that it was Boba Fett. Now, I don't hear Spurs here, but Bear says there's Spurs here. I hear where he hears it. I just don't think it's the Spurs. But listen to this. Let me know if you think when Boba Fett turns around and walks away that he has Spurs on still. Okay? So, guys, mute for me if you will. And we're going to listen to this and have no interruptions until it's done. And chat, please listen too and let us know what you think.
Spurs. I heard the Spurs.
I didn't hear anything. I heard music and steps as he walked away.
Yep. I heard it.
I got some very good speakers. I had to put my speakers in my ears, so
I cranked my volume.
I have my bass turned down. My speakers by my ears.
I'm not.
All right. Hey, wait. I'll do it one more time.
Okay. I'm hitting
I want to get the chat. I want to get the chat side of it too. I'm going to turn up the volume so we can all hear it better. Everybody mute one more time. We're going to do it, and we're going to come up with what we think. Here we go.
Yep.
I hear footsteps. I hear footsteps. That's it.
I heard footsteps.
Ching.
You sound like people walking or a person walking through sand.
No, I think
I heard the ching too.
Yep.
I hear. No. Here's the thing. When I see him and I listen for it, it goes. He steps. It's off from his walk.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like when he steps, ching. Isn't
no. When he turns and before he actually takes his first step, you hear it. I think it's in the music, and I think what they're doing is I think they're trying to hearken back to the S he had him, but I don't think it's him.
I think I hear more of. What it sounds like when you're walking on sand or dirt. Yeah. I don't exactly hear Spurs.
Yeah, I don't hear Spurs either. I just hear someone walking on sand.
It's a little what's the word? Indistinguishable or
ambiguous.
Yeah, I was intentionally not watching the footage, simply just listening to the audio to see if I could isolate it. And I didn't hear Spurs. I just heard someone walking on sand. That was it.
What I'm watching for is I'm listening to what I think might be something that sounds like Spurs, but I'm watching him for his gait. I'm looking, does it match what would be his gait? Because here's the thing. I mean, when you look at footage, even if you don't see somebody's foot, you can kind of tell by the way that their body moves when they step. He does a turn, I hear it, and then I see him move. And so I think it's off, but I do think, Bear, you're right. I think that it's in the music to hearken to the fact that he did have that. And it's going to be, if you look at the soundtrack and when they put it out, it'll probably be Boba's theme or something like that is what they'll call it. And I think maybe that's what we need to do is go look for the soundtrack for this and see if there's something that says Boba Fett, and we listen to that. And if we hear it in that, we know it's the music, not him.
Mm-hmm. Does there have an audio program? You can easily you download video and just play the pure audio.
Well, either way, we know it's him. So
Yeah, it's the same actor.
It's
Yeah, it's
credited.
Morse.
What I mean is, it's
Morrison.
there to there to give it a thematic design, but But why would they add in sand walking sound though? Because that's part of what it is. That's
He's
just how it
walking in the
is.
sand.
Yeah, I mean that's part of ambient sound. So
Whoa.
okay, well,
Jeez.
What's
all right,
funny though?
Danny, all right. I'm gonna run around because I have to get some. Got 2 other streams tonight.
Danny, why do you want to bone Chris?
Bounce.
Oh, bounce. Sorry, I read it wrong. You read it wrong.
Bounce.
What the? What?
All right.
Phantom Zone his ass, please.
Well, I can't do that unless you're using the Force.
You're crossing the genres.
There it goes.
You're crossing the genres.
All right, Danny, go ahead. You got to run. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, all that fun stuff, please.
I am Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. You can catch me tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on one of the 3 shows from the Chaotic Central channel that Chris and I and Nzo do together. We will be ranking our top 50 all-time villains. This week we'll be doing from rank number 40 to 31. So please come by and catch us 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Chaos Central.
Indeed.
There you go.
All right. Thank you,
All right,
Danny. Have a good night. Be safe.
Layers, Danny. Take care.
Later, dude.
Comix
Later,
Division. Tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found one more time.
Okay, you can find me over at my own channel, Comix Division, as well at Comix Division on Twitter. I'm also one of the hosts on Friday Night Tights, where you can, or guest host, or whatever you want to call me, Friday Night Tights, and I have my own stream every Thursday, which is Thursday Night Throwdown. So come and check that out.
Awesome. Yes, indeed. Air, you're disappearing.
All he is just another brick in the wall.
Wow.
It's Ghost Bear. It's Ghost
All right.
Bear.
Shell, tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, really quick, please.
I can be found on Bear's channel now and then on Friday and Saturdays, some here and there. Also Wes Moody's channel, like Mondays and Tuesdays here and there, and Comix Division's channel as soon as the check goes through.
Dude, I'll have you back on again, Shellback. I had you on once before.
I've been on once or twice.
Yeah.
All right. Bear, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
Well, you can find me Fridays and Saturdays. We have the 4 Horsemen on Fridays, and we have the late edition on Saturdays. It's normally right around between 9ish and 9ish. And it's Ghost Bear time.
All right.
And you can catch Wes, you can catch Final Death Star there. You catch a mix of people here and there, and you want to come on, just come on, and we like to have fun, and the chat sometimes is the best part of the show. Yeah, best community in the chat.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
we'll see you then, and catch you then.
Awesome. Yes. And up next, JJ. JJ, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found.
JJ, hello.
I think he's muted again.
The language of his people.
Okay. Let's jump over to a new guy on the whole Mandalorian Roundtable, NickWeiser. 32 flavor flavs of NickWeiser.
All right, so obviously, I got the name modified, 32 Flavor Flavors, but it's really 32 flavors of NickWeiser on YouTube, or you can go on the website, youtube.com/NicksToxicWaltz. I talk nerd rage stuff. I also love to review food and beers as well, and whatever, commentary I feel like nerd raging on. And of course, I'm on Latino Slants channel on Thursday evenings for the X-Files watch along, and my buddy Jake D's channel, Howling About Entertainment, on Sunday evening. So I'm slowly getting around and spreading myself around for everyone to see. It's feeling quite nice, given that.
Phrasing. Phrasing.
Yeah, I'm also there on Latinos for the X Files on Thursdays. Yeah.
Indeed. All right, JJ, are you there? No. Okay.
JJ.
All right, Eli.
Who?
Elihu Who? Tell everybody about yourself.
I am Elihu Who, and
Where are you?
yes, who exactly?
You?
Who?
He's in the Milky Way. Looks like
You.
Elihu Who.
You.
who?
You.
Not the chocolate drink, just Elihu Who.
Are you?
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time, and sometimes in between. And when I'm not there, you can find me live every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific time doing a show called What's Up with the Universe. I'm also on LDG Pixels channel, Chris Knight up there, hanging out with JJ, hanging out with Danny Graham, KHAOS Central, hanging out on Jedi Bill's Insomniac Suit. Like I said, I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time, so good luck trying to find me. And I'm mainly on Twitter. I do not do Facebook, so personal reason with Zuckerberg, so never mind.
JJ, are you there? JJ.
Knock, knock.
Just
All right, anyways.
Ed.
JJ might, I don't know. Who knows? But JJ, you can find him over Sith Lord 3827 on Twitter, 3827 on YouTube, or Sith Lord 3827 on YouTube also. You can find him over on KHAOS Central a couple times a week. Sometimes he's on Tonight with me and HanStar for Name That Tune.
I forgot about that.
You can find him on Thursday nights for Weekly Rumble, all sorts of crazy stuff like that. He's everywhere and nowhere at once, much like Eli Who. Anyways,
Yeah,
but
I'm somewhere in between, so hey.
that's true. I am Chris Knight, guys. This is my channel. If you're not yet subscribed, please do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when we're coming out with new stuff and things like this. It's really important that you hit that bell. I think I have all of about like maybe 10% of my subscribers actually have hit that bell, which I'm like, okay, whatever. And do me a favor, smash that like button. It helps out with the algorithm. And with that said, guys, everybody say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute. And you can also send us an email at sean@sean.housereacts.com and Chris Knight at therealreview3000.com. Be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.